All right, so what's a good first move here? We could distribute. All right, now I had mentioned before that you want to try to save multiplication and division for later on in the process if possible. In this case, there's really no way around it. You have to do some multiplication early on, otherwise there's nothing you can do. Distributing is going to create some fractions, right? Do I want to do that? No, not if I can avoid it. So is there something else I can do aside from distributing that might help me here? Multiply by positive 3? Negative 3. We want to get rid of this guy. And we're going to multiply both sides by that negative 3. All right, so first thing I'm going to take note of is my inequality's direction is going to change, right? Because I'm multiplying by a negative number. Then I could actually carry out that multiplication, this whole shebang here, because of the last page of notes. It's a rule. Whenever you multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by a negative, it changes the direction of the sign. All right, right-hand side, what do I have to do? Multiply by negative 3. What property is that called? Distributive. So negative 21x minus 9. Now what? We could, but ideally, whenever possible, we want to have, and actually not even whenever possible, we always want to have our variable on the left-hand side.
Add 21x.
So add 21x. So in the last unit, you kind of had your choice, whatever was more convenient. Here, it's really in your best interest to get all your variables to the left-hand side. All right, simultaneous with that, I can knock off the 2. So 22x would be less than or equal to negative 11. So then I do what? Divide by 22. Fun fact of the day, 22 is a positive number. Just thought I would share that with you. Why is that relevant? We don't have to what? I thought I heard it. The thing, right? We don't have to change the thing, the symbol, the inequality. Let me hit pause on it.
It's fine, I can come back.
Can you?
Yeah, I can come back, no problem.
All right, so we have x is less than or equal to negative 1/2. And again, we did not divide by a negative number. The reason I bring this up now is because there was a negative number here. And I've had people in the past change the direction of the sign because they divided and they just saw a negative. Like I had a negative number in there, so I changed the direction of the sign. That's not how it works. It's only if you are actively multiplying or dividing by a negative number. Right? So this blue number here does not have a negative sign in front of it, so therefore I should not be changing the direction of the sign. Besides, I already did it. So if you did it once, odds are you're probably done doing it. Now, I need to label up this number line. I can do it any way I want. I just need a sense of the scale. Few values in either direction. I'm going to plot negative 1/2, which is the halfway between negative 1 and 0. What kind of circle am I using there?
Close.
Closed circle. And which way am I going, left or right?
Left.
Left. All right, I meet the standards of the problem here. Let's see. Set notation. Okay, not quite. I'm almost there. So I just have to make my final statement about my solution here. Squiggly bracket. It's a variable x such that x is less than or equal to negative 1/2. I'm not much of a social media guy, but I am aware that you have all your symbols that you use on a daily basis, like emojis and all that nonsense. So this is my symbol. I just want you to use it. Don't complain. It's fine. It's just a vertical line for crying out loud. I'm not even making you do something difficult. Okay, the squiggly brackets you don't like, but they gotta be there. All right? All right. So 8 minus 6x less than or equal to 4x minus 2. Got x's on both sides. That's fine, we can live with that. Page 4. Next move. Take away 8 from both sides. And negative 6x less than or equal to 4x minus 10. I'm just checking the time. Next move. Subtract 4x. Left-hand side becomes what? Negative 10x less than or equal to negative 10. Subtract?
I mean, divide. Oh, I always do that.
Divide by a negative 10. We're dividing by a negative 10.
X is greater than or equal to 1.
So we're dividing by a negative 10.
Wait, but you just added 2. And you would get rid of all of that. You would have to flip the symbol.
Say it again, sorry.
If you added 2 as your first step, it would be 10 minus 10x equals 6x plus 6x, 10x equals 10. You wouldn't have to flip the symbol.
You get this, and you divide.
It's the same though because the X is then on the other side.
Yeah, so it's easier. You don't have to flip the symbol.
But you
I think
still
the
have to
symbol
flip
is
the
not that hard.
expression.
You just read it
Flip
backwards.
the expression.
Right? Man. That was so magical. That's what happens when you have a genius as a math teacher.
I had an idea. Oh, this is so cool.
You can pass this around if you want. Like I want to share that nugget. Oh, so actually, really pass it around. Look at it, both sides. Enjoy the moment, and then hold it up to the light if you want. Yeah, study it. It's like, it's so awesome. But that's the idea. So you have in this expression something that's definitely equivalent to what I have without having to worry about that. You just got to make, and this is a perfectly acceptable final answer. Just got to make sure your graph is shaded to the right. So as long as you can do that, you're good.
That's only with division, or
Wait, Mr. Cano. For the set notation, do you have to write like set notation and then?
No, you don't have to write the word.
You don't?
No.
You're a psychopath.
No, it's not.
yeah, the expo smells. This is very cool. I enjoy looking.
All right, so again, my recommendation is to have your algebra play out so that your x is on the left-hand side so that there's less thinking involved when it comes to making a graph. So you look at the arrow and you realize, okay, I'm just shading to the right. In this one, you can write it this way, you do all the work this way, as long as you know that this is also saying shade to the right. Because this is saying that x is more than or equal to 1. So as long as you can read this properly, then you're in good shape. All right, so, oh, you make around so quickly. I thought you would have like treasured this more. All right, well now it goes on the wall of fame.
Is this off the wall of shame?
Wall of shame, I haven't put that up yet, but it'll be up. I have a digital wall of shame. what I do is if
Photo
you,
of me.
yeah, a picture of the student, the test grade next to, no, I'm just kidding.
That's great.
I try to go positive reinforcement rather than telling people how terrible they are.
And then just nothing.